Hello guys, it is Bitcoin Geekend. It is February 3rd. I'm creating the video for Bitcoin US dollars. And yes, it's been a while since I created the last video, so I just want to quickly run through what really happened to Bitcoin, what caused the price drop. And I would say this level, 8,000 level, is a very good level to I don't say recommend to buy, but this is absolutely the level that lots of people start to jump in buying back up. So I just wanted to share some of the views. So let's take a look at that. All right. So if you are looking back a little history about 3-month period, you see the like a middle of November, the price started to spike, right? And they just went up all up to 20,000. Well, this was a very interesting period because this is somewhere around like a Thanksgiving Day started to, giving a push to people to purchase because it's already plunging up. If you look back at the Bitcoin history back to 2015, and if you take the numbers, 306 days return is usually 210%. So if you buy one Bitcoin, your asset will go 3 times every year. That's static right now. So especially this year, it's more than 10 times. So people started to jump in, and they just started to climb. And the pretty interesting thing is within December, what really happened was around this time, like major players shifted to the JPY players. And the Japanese people really likes to buy Bitcoin because there was a lot of TV commercial came in, and lots of people started to buy altcoins, which is a low facial price coins like a dollar coin, $2 coins. These coins went crazy. Some of them, probably you've heard about the Mona coin that shot up to like 2,000 times. So such things really gave people a hope that they can be rich within a week or so. So a lot of people started coming, and especially like this December season is the bonus season, and the biggest player in Japan is employees status people, and usually people receive a paycheck around December 5th. And if you see that, they just price spiked up all in, right? And middle of December, it's like a bonus day comes in, so people usually takes twice a year of the bonuses, and everything went in, right? And after that, usually sometimes before the Christmas seasons, some company pays you your payroll instead of January. Sometimes regular paydays January, but sometimes people receive paycheck within a year. So some people receive 3 times of the paychecks within December, and it's all went in, right? So really this and also like all the altcoins was all the craziness. And if you visit Japan at that time, if you go to town, that lots of trucks with a signboard was running all around, like Bitflyers or CoinCheck, where these guys were playing a lot of big role for bringing in people for the ordinary people, just TV commercials and town cars, etc. So everything kicked in and shot up the price up to 20,000, and it went into sideways. And then what really happened was after 2018, people just remember that they need to pay tax, right? That's lots of people made millions of dollars. Well, if you just hold it, that's fine. It's not gonna be taxed. But if you just buy and sell, do sort of thing, it's gonna be taxed, and some people need to pay 50% of tax. And people just remember that, and they just started to take the profit because they need to prepare for money. And what really happened these days is a lot of hectic, like CoinCheck was hacked and their name went eluded, like $460 million, and some media was writing something like, hey, this is a Mt. Gox again, sort of thing. So all the sentiment went bad and came down to $8,000 level, which is right now. And this is what I think, this is a very floor level right now. And one of the reasons why I think this is a, usually if you look back at a little bit of the history, usually price bounce back somewhere around the 40% retracement level, and which is after 2015. However, this time, if we look up a little numbers, this is a spreadsheet I just created. This is the distance from the moving average, and usually that's somewhere around 25%. That's usually the maximum. However, this time, like all the craziness came in, and it just went up to 60% of the difference, which is the biggest in the history. So that means if the price really spiked higher, that will bring in a reaction that's gonna cause huge force to go down, and usually down. Area is somewhere around 20%, and they just this time it hit second time, and usually within the history we never hit 3 times, and so that's a sort of the double bottom with the indicator, and that's part of the reason. And the other thing is, if you look back a little about December, I really respect Mike Novogratz, and he's a really good analytic guys, and he was clearly saying that it's gonna be, the Bitcoin may crash down to 8,000. Here you go, and it just hit 8,000, right? And what really happens is that lots of people are looking at his tweet or his TV broadcasting or this sort of news, and so $8,000 is sort of playing a biggest key role of the memory, right? That's people was thinking about, oh, 8,000, this is Mike Novogratz was talking about, and comes back to this chart, and this is exactly the 60% retracement. So if usually the retracement is 40%, and if you flip 40%, it's gonna be 60%, and this is exactly the $8,000, right? And that's a pretty good, giving a good foundation of the price retracement. And the other thing is, if you look back a little history, this is a leverage positions, and if you look back a little bit of history, you can see clearly this time leverage position was skyrocketing at this area, right? So what really happened was, this was the previous time really this sort of leveraged position spiked, and that was back in November, middle of November. And what happened after that is, after all the leverage player went in 100% power, market started to gradually comes back to the uptrend, and it just went all up to 20,000. And of course, people takes profit. That's fine, because they need a profit. However, the second time is this area, which means like the previous high was broken, and people just eating the profit. However, the price didn't stop, it just went up, and what was the price level was, this was exactly $8,000. So this is the area that people are more like motivating to jump in to pull the trigger, right? And the other thing is, if you look back a little 1 hour chart, it's pretty interesting. If you look back, this is just a Bitfinex chart. However, this gives a pretty good indication of the price. So if you see the volume here, it spikes. So it's simply because somewhere around, I would say $8,500 is somewhere like a margin call kicks in. Well, I would say 8,500 to 9,500. This is the level that allow the leverage positions is liquidated. That's why people need it, system automatically place a sell orders where no buyers exist. So that's a price deep in a very deep level. And however, here is a big first volume came in. This is the buy orders, and this price went shot up to 9,200 level and came down a little bit. And next time, this time it doesn't show a higher volume of trading, which is a really good sign, because sometimes if you look back like a trading textbook or ordinary information, usually says volume needs to accompany with the trading direction, but it's not. I mean, that's if you are really trading, you see a lot of times that this is a craziness, and this is a really a smart buyer is coming in, and it's a very what I say. This is a very smart people comes in, and this is where people are buying on support and selling at resistance. That sort of the people are coming in very quietly, very quietly. So let's just take a look at the one that we just talked about. That was middle of November. And yes, this is pretty much the same, right? This is November. If you look back to November, middle of November, that's there you go. All right, so if you see the trading volume, first time volume spike, second time, no, we just this is the smart buyers buying. So this volume includes some of the jumping buyer or margin calls. Everything is in. So it's a sort of the volatile market, and the smart people comes in after all the volatiles is gone. Nobody talks about Bitcoin, and then such people comes in to buy. That's usually the case. So that creates a lot of big trend. So I would say this time, price and fundamentals and everything is showing exactly the same. So I would say this 8,000 level is pretty much solid. And of course I may be wrong, and that could just goes down to, I don't know, $2,000. Some people say it's gonna $1,000. Some people say Bitcoin has no value, tulip bubble. That's fine. Anybody can say anything. I don't blame that. That's what we need to think about is, where are we gonna buy and where are we gonna sell? That's only the thing, right? So I would say that this is a pretty good indication of the price level that people may comes back in to place a buy order, and I would say this may create a big long trend. Because if you look back at all the world market assets, if you include all the gold or all the ETF or the fund or all the stocks, this world comes with a $700 trillion of worth of capitals flying around. And right now, the crypto's market cap is somewhere around $0.4 trillion, and that's it. So if the even fraction of the money comes in, price will just skyrocket. So I think, well, personally, it's very personally, $8,000 is a place to go long, and but of course I may be wrong. If the price goes down to 2,000, that's a reality. That's what it is. And however, I would say in a probability way, if you look back at numbers, and of course there's a lots of other factors I am looking at it. It's very partial. That's what I'm talking about right now. But there are so many facts that backs up the price movement. So I'd say, well, at least don't sell at 8,000. That's only the thing I can say. I'm not gonna say buy at 8,000 because that could be wrong. But if you hold Bitcoins and if the price goes, dipping down to 8,500 or something, just hold on it. Just hold on it. That's probably the best strategy I can think about it. And so I hope you guys will just survive this volatile market, and we'll see. We'll see the price will, breaking the 20,000, and maybe goes up to 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, and I think that's very probable. And that's pretty much it. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you just like the video, just leave me a comment or something, and that's gonna be great. Thank you. Bye.